one time. The sun always rises on time. Never a moment behind. Perfectly always on time. Perfectly always on time.
Hello and welcome to Unbound Carry, the channel where we help you elevate your everyday. My name is Jeffrey McDuffie, and today we've got a very exciting review for you guys. We're going to be reviewing the Indonesian-based Cravar F.C. 15 messenger bag. So I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and start with a simple pocket walkthrough. All right, so this pocket walkthrough is going to be really simple because there aren't too many compartments on this bag. So the first compartment is going to be this external one right here, which I just have a notebook in, an A5 size notebook. It's also got a magnetic closure right here, which I don't really think works super well. And then the other part of the bag, the main part, this is what the inside looks like. So you've got one large main compartment, you've got a slip pocket right here on the inside, and then you've got two large front pockets right here. And that's pretty much it. There's not too much going on with this bag when it comes to the pockets. All right, moving on to the features and specs. This bag is made with a lovely full-grain veg-tanned leather. It's got brass hardware. It's got an acrylic fabric lining. It fits a 15-inch laptop and some 16-inch ones, but does not have a dedicated sleeve. It's got a stud closure, a padded grab handle, a luggage pass-through, and a removable and adjustable shoulder strap. All right, so what do I like about this bag? So one of the awesome things about this messenger bag is that it has virtually no breakable parts. I mean, the hardware is just solid brass. There's no zippers to fail or anything like that, no latches. It's just got this stud closure. And you could really tell that the maker wanted this to be a bag that lasts a lifetime. So this bag also has reinforced stitching and or rivets pretty much at all of the stress points. So for example, like the grab handle right here, also where the shoulder strap connects to the bag, and also the top flap is reinforced as well. Another thing is that these front straps actually go all the way around the bag, which creates a load-bearing effect to help with the weight of the bag. And I really have to say, this bag has like impeccable stitching, probably some of the cleanest lines that I've ever seen. I haven't seen one loose thread on this bag. There's just so much attention to detail on the craftsmanship, it's just impeccable. Another thing that really tells me that this bag is quality is that every single edge of the leather is finished or burnished. And it's just so beautiful. Like there's no unfinished parts of the leather. So for example, the strap is finished here. This front strap is finished here. Everything is just burnished well. And it just really shows to me that they paid a lot of attention in the making of this bag, and they really left no stone unturned when it comes to the detail of this bag. Another thing is that they use these really large, beautiful cuts of leather, which kind of reduces the amount of stitching that you're gonna have, which also increases the durability. But for example, like I'm talking about the front flap, which is just one huge piece of leather, or this, or the top flap, excuse me. And this front flap, which is one large piece of leather. It's just really, really well made, and it's using these large cuts of leather that reduce the amount of stitching, increasing the durability. Again, this bag is all about detail and being like heirloom quality. So this top flap right here actually comes over and cups the side right here, which prevents any water from kind of getting in through like the top. So this bag is partially water resistant as well. The lining on this bag is also really nice as well. It's red, so it's like really bright and easy to see inside, but also it's kind of different. Like I don't see much red lining out there. But as I said earlier, this is going to be an acrylic fabric. So I couldn't find too much information online about this specific type of lining. Cravar mentions that it's used for like maritime activities and that it's extremely durable and water resistant. But I couldn't verify that through like third-party resources. But I mean, I believe them. This is a really nice lining. And it also feels like, if I had to describe how it feels like a soft a softer version of canvas, a softer and more supple version of canvas. Another thing that I really, really love about this bag that's kind of underrated is the shoulder strap is so easily adjustable. So sometimes on other bags, I'll have an issue with adjusting the shoulder strap because it's like, it's too tight and there's too much friction. But this is so easily adjustable, so I don't have to fiddle with it when I'm like trying to leave in a rush and trying to get the shoulder strap situated. It's just super easy to articulate. The grab handle is also really nice. It's padded well. There's not really much to say here other than I really enjoy it. It's great for when you're putting the bag onto your shoulder or when you're taking it out of your car, or even if you just wanted to use this as your primary carry method. It's a really nice handle. Also, can we just talk about the look of this bag? I mean, this is just such a handsome looking piece of gear. I know this is subjective, but I'm just so in love with the color, the look of the leather, the design, how rustic it kind of looks. This will complement like almost any outfit. I think it can be dressed down to something a little bit more casual, and it can also be dressed up to something a little bit more formal. But this is such a beautiful looking bag in my opinion, but I mean, you be the judge. That is up to you. I just think that it's super handsome. And also the feel of this full grain, like vegetable tan leather is just like so luxurious, and I can't wait to see how this is gonna age. I'm sure it's gonna age beautifully and it's gonna become more supple over time and it's gonna develop character. Like that's what I love about leather bags. It's just the story that it kind of tells over time. So this is just such a beautiful bag. I cannot wait to see how this kind of grows over time. So let's go ahead and talk about the few things that I don't like about this bag. There's not too much, honestly. One thing that's really annoying about this bag is that the top flap doesn't open all the way. So it kind of like whenever you're trying to open it, it falls forward. This is a side effect of having like these like curved, cupped, like this curved and cupped flap so that it kind of covers the edge of the bag so no water gets in here. So it's kind of a trade-off, right? Like, would you rather have the water resistance or would you rather have the flap be able to stay open and not like fall forward? If you can get it to stay open like I just did, if you kind of like push the leather in. I'm not sure how good it is for the leather. But I mean, if you really want it to stay open, you can. But when you're kind of in a rush or when you're just trying to like get set up for work or whatever, it is kind of a pain because it just keeps on falling forward like this. Another thing that I noticed about this bag is the two front pockets here, right here, are tapered. So what I mean by that is like, they kind of like, they start out wide and then they kind of get more narrow as you go down, which kind of restricts some of the access that you can use, like some of the volume, I should say. So there's not as much volume towards the bottom as there is towards the top. I'm sure there's a reason for this. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's, you know, to reduce the amount of, you know, like cuts of leather that they need to use. But it is one thing that I noticed is that this tapers down, which reduces the volume more towards the bottom. This might be a big one for a lot of you, but one thing is that the shoulder straps on this don't swivel. So that does mean that there's like less breakable parts without having like an articulating like ring. But the problem with that is that whenever you're putting the bag on your shoulder, sometimes you have to like fiddle with it to get it to be like lined up, because sometimes you'll pick up the bag and the straps will be twisted like they are right now. So you kind of have to fiddle with it like how I'm doing right now to get it set up right, which I'm actually having a hard time with this right now. There we go. So it would be helpful if the straps were articulating, but I also get it. Like, you don't want like another point of failure. So it's just a trade-off, I guess. And lastly, the last thing that I don't like about this bag is I just wish there was a little bit more volume. I wish that what they did was they just made this bag a little bit wider. It's very, very slim. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have a lot of stuff in this bag. I have to carry 2 laptops, one personal and one for work. But even then, I just feel like it could be a little bit bigger. I would love to see that. If there was a bigger version of this bag that was deeper and had more volume, I would love that. I think the size, like the length and the width are perfect. I would just like to see something a little bit deeper to give myself more volume. But I mean, that's kind of like a small nitpick, but you're just gonna have to kind of choose what you're gonna carry in here. You know, like I can't carry everything that I usually carry in a backpack in here, obviously. But I would love to see a little bit more volume. All right, so in conclusion, man, this bag was an absolute pleasure to use. From the handsome look to the really luxurious feel of the leather, I had a fantastic time reviewing this. With its impeccable craftsmanship and its simple yet accessible design, this bag is sure to last you a lifetime. Not only that, but as the leather ages and develops a really beautiful patina and gets more supple over time, you're gonna have a bag that's uniquely yours. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then I would appreciate it if you gave it a like, and if you really loved it, then maybe consider subscribing. If you want to see more of me, you can follow me on Instagram at Unbound Carry. But that has been all, guys. I've been Jeffrey, and I'll talk at you later. Bye-bye.